राधा शिवश्री गौरव भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत राधा शिवश्री गौरव भक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्ण. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Wednesday. It is 9th of July. It is Ashadha Masa or Vamana Masa, Sukla Paksham, Chaturdasi Tithi. There are no events in the calendar today. So from tomorrow is Purnami. From tomorrow, Chaturmasya Vrata starts. Generally, some of the devotees they follow. So they fast from the leafy vegetables like the curry leaves and coriander, spinach, and methi leaves, like the leafy vegetables, they fast from for 1 month. This is Chaturmasya Vrata that some of the devotees they follow. Generally, some of the different sampradayas they follow this. Okay, that starts tomorrow. But for today, there are no events. It's just a heads up if any devotees are following. Okay, thank you so much. We shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Uddhava is conversing with Krishna. So Krishna is speaking to Uddhava with so much affectionately. And then Uddhava mentioning some of the Krishna's pastimes, and he said, "Oh, my dear Krishna, I am bewildered by your activities. So can you please describe about the knowledge about yourself, which is transcendental knowledge? If you think I am qualified to hear." Likewise, Uddhava is inquiring from Krishna. Jnanam param swatmarahah prakasham provacha kasmai bhagavan samagram apiksham no grahanaya bhaktah vadanjasa yadvijinam tarema. So whatever, my dear Lord, you have spoken to Brahma, kasmai, onto Brahma, ka, it is addressed as the Brahma, kasmai. Provacha kasmai bhagavan samagram. You have spoken this knowledge to Brahma. If you think that I am eligible or qualified to hear, apikshamam no grahanaya bhaktaha vadanjasa yad vrijinam tarema. Can you please describe those details to me? Anjasa in detail. Yad vrijinam tarema. By that I will cross this material essence. Likewise, Uddhava is requesting Krishna to describe. So today further, Buddhava is saying to Vidura, saying that after I have asked Krishna, O Vidura, and the Lord has spoken those knowledge to me. So I have asked from the core of my heart. And he has spoken that knowledge only to me, but Maitri Rishi also was next to him. It is not meant for him, but Krishna is speaking to me directly for my sake. But Maitri Rishi is observing everything very carefully. Okay, likewise, Uddhava is saying to Vidura, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 4, verse number 19. इति आवेदितहार्दाय मह्यं स भगवान् परः आदिदेश अरविन्दाक्षः आत्मनः परमां स्थितिम् इति आवेदितहार्दाय. So thus being prayed to by me, hardaya, from the core of my heart. Iti aviditahardhaya mahyam, it is just unto me. Mahyam, just unto me. Though there is a Maitri Rishis, but here Lord is speaking that knowledge to Uddhava. Lord gives all these things to his pure devotees, so that devotees will go back to Vaikuntha planets to stay with the Lord. So Mahyam, Sa Bhagavan Paraha, and he, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Bhagavan Paraha, the Supreme. Adidesha Arvindaksha, and he instructed that transcendental knowledge unto me. Adidesha Arvindakshaha, the lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. That beautiful Krishna, he spoke all his knowledge unto me. Previously, similarly, when the Arjuna was bewildered in the Kurukshetra battle, Karpanya Doshopahata Subhavaha Pruchamitvam. So likewise, when Arjuna was inquired that with the Karpanya dosha, he was also received the knowledge from Krishna. And here, Buddhava is also mentioning iti hardhaya. So because he was also mentioning, I am bewildered, mohyati eva deva. I am also bewildered by looking at your pastimes. Can you please give that knowledge to me, what you have spoken to Brahma, Puravachakasme Bhagavan Samagdram. And then here, when he was requested, Adidesha Aravindakshaha, Krishna spoke all this knowledge unto Buddhava. Atmanaha Paramam Sitim. Atmanaha, it is of himself, Paramam, the transcendental Sitim, situation, how Krishna is. So that is um, the same knowledge what was given to Brahma. Jnanam Paramaguhyeme yed Vijnan Samanvitam Sarahasyam Tarangam Chagruhana Garitam Maya. यावान अहम यथा भावो यद्रूप गुणकर्मकः तथैव तत्त्वविज्ञानम् अस्तु ते मदनुग्रहात्. So likewise, Krishna, all his form, qualities, and different pastimes, they were given to Lord Brahma. That Chatushloki Bhagavata. Okay, so likewise, Uddhava is saying to Vidura. So translation for this shloka. When I thus expressed my heartfelt desires unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the lotus-eyed Lord instructed me about his transcendental situation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so can I request any unallocated devotees to read this purport, please?
Hare Krishna, can you read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. Purport by Divine Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The word Paramam Sthitim are significant in this verse. The Lord's transcendental situation was not even spoken of to Brahma when the 4 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9, 33 to 36 were explained. This transcendental situation comprises his dealings with the devotees engaged in transcendental loving service as exhibited at Dwaraka and Vrindavana. When the Lord explained his specific transcendental situation, it was meant for Uddhava only, and therefore Uddhava particularly said, Mahyam unto me, although the great sage Maitreya was also sitting there. Such a transcendental situation is hardly understood by those whose devotion is mixed with speculative knowledge or spiritual activities. The Lord's activities in confidential love are very rarely disclosed to the general devotees who are attracted by devotion mixed with knowledge and mysticism. Such activities are the inconceivable pastimes of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here, the word Paramam Stream. So it is a transcendental situation of the Lord, Atmanaha, Paramam Stream. So the Lord spoke the same knowledge to Brahma. So Brahma has gone through austerities and penances for a long time. And then that comes in the second canto, chapter 9, in the around shlokas. The entire chapter 9 is Lord shows the Vaikuntha planets to Lord Brahma, and then Lord understands that Brahma is the um, eligible person to create this universe, and then with so much of pleasing attitude, he also gives the Priyam Pitamana Karasprushan, and with even he gives handshake Karasprushan, touching the Brahma. And then Brahma later on, he was very pleased with the Lord, and then he inquired from the Lord, can you please explain all about yourself, my dear Lord, how you take birth here in this material world, and what are different pastimes? And then when he was inquiring, then Lord was very pleased. Tvayaham Toshidaha. So when this is he says that I am very pleased with you, O Brahma, because you have performed all the tapasya. त्वयाहं तोषितः सम्यक् भेदगर्भसिसृक्षया चिरम्भूतेन तपसा दुष्टोषः कोटयोगिनाम्. I am very pleased with you. I am not pleased with the कोटयोगिनां who are just only pretending. वरं वरे बध्यन्ते वरेशमा अभिवाञ्छितं ब्रह्मन् श्रेयः परिश्रामः पुंसं मद्दर्शनावधिः. You ask all kinds of benedictions from me. वरं वरया भद्रन्ते वरेशं मा अभिवाञ्छितं. Anything you wanted, but know that ब्रह्म वरं वराय भद्रं ते वरेश माम अभिवाञ्छितं ब्रह्मन् श्रेयः परिश्रामः. After going through all this parishrama, brahman श्रेयः परिश्रामः पुंसं मद्दर्शनावधिः. At the end, one has to come to me and see me and live with me. Likewise, Krishna says, Pumsam Maddarshana Avadihi. That is the ultimate thing for a person who goes through this. Later on, the Brahma inquires some questions, and then Lord says, Jnanam Param Gushyami Yad Vijnan Samanvitam Sa Rahatyam Tadangam Cha Gruhana Gaditam Maya. All the supplementary knowledge also. If it is Bhagavad Gita, it is expanded into further Bhagavatam, and then pastimes like the supplementary knowledge Mahabharata and Ramayanam, Ashtadasha Puranas, Upanishads, and Vedanga, so many other things. All this will come as a big pack of knowledge. Tadangam Cha. Gruhana Gaditamaya. I will give all these things to you, O Brahman. What are they? Yavanaham yata bhavo yad rupa guna karmakaha tadaiva tattva vijnanam astute madanugrahat. Everything scientifically by my form, qualities, pastimes, and everything. Vijnaya, so just scientifically. And then he spoke the Chatashloki Bhagavata. So that is अहम एवासमेवाग्रे नान्यद् यत् तद् असत् परं पश्चादहं यदेतच्च यो अवशिष्येत सोऽस्म्यहं वृत्यार्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत चात्मनि तद्विद्याद् आत्मनो मायं यथा भासो यथा तमः वृत्यार्थं यत् प्रतीयेत न प्रतीयेत यथा महान्ति भूतानि भूतेषु चावचेषु प्रविष्टानि अप्रविष्टानि तथा तेषु न त्वेष्वहम् एतावद्य जिज्ञासुं तत्विज्ञासुनात्मनः अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्यं यत् स्यात् सर्वत्र सर्वदा. So these are the four shlokas starting from aham evasam evagre. Second shloka is the rutyadhyam yat pratiyeta. Third one is the yata mahanti bhutani. Fourth shloka is etavadya jidnyasyam. So ultimate thing is everyone's endeavor is ends with me. Once they come to my lotus feet, then that is the ultimate thing for them. So this is the knowledge. And further in the Garbhodakasaya Vishnu also says to Brahma, there puttena tapasa ijnehi that is a different shloka. So there tat mat pritihi, so something like that. He says everything, all these austerities and penances only is meant for my pleasure. Aham atma atmanam dhatah prestah presamapi ato mai ratin kudya dehadihi yatkute priyaha. Everything is to be done only for my pleasure's sake, and I must be their beloved objective. I am the only to be the beloved objective of everyone, but they are loving their bodies more. So likewise, Garbhodak Sai Vishnu says to Brahma. So this is called the knowledge. So here Brahma got the fourth Chatashloki from the second canto, 9th chapter, 33 to 36, the four shlokas. But that does not give, of course, Lord even says that Yavanaham yathabhav yadrupa gunakarmakaha. Everything it will be revealed by my mercy. So later on, Brahma spoke that knowledge to Narada Muni as well. Narada Muni inquired. Okay, so this transcendental situation comprises dealings with the devotees engaged in the transcendental loving service, as exhibited at Dwaraka and Vrindavana. We see how gopis are attached, and also queens in the Dwaraka are always attached to Krishna. So because of their feminine nature and womanly nature, it is very easy for them to get attracted to Krishna. That's why gopis, they got exalted position than anyone else in this universe. They're one of these Astinapura women, they are also glorifying the Vrindavana people, like Nunam Vrataha Snana Hutadhineshwaraha Samachite Hese Grihita Panibihi Pibantiyaha Sakya Dharamrita Muhu Samuhu Rajistriyaha. Likewise, they are glorifying the Vrindavana people, like what kind of aspects and penances those people have done. नूनं स्नानव्रत हृताधिनेश्वरः समर्चितैः गृहीतपाणिभिः पिबन्ति याः सख्यधरामृतमुहुः. So they are drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips like that. Vrajasriyah sammuhu yadasayaha. Vrajasriyah sammuhu. That's why even the Vrindavan gopis, they're also uh, falling unconscious by drinking the nectar of Krishna's lips, something like that. Vrajasriyah sammuhu yadasayaha. This is Sakyadharamritam. They are the exalted devotees of the Lord. That is transcendent loving, the most intimate pastimes of the Lord. Okay, so when the Lord explained his specific transcendental situation, it was meant for Buddhava only. And therefore, Buddhava particularly said, Mahyam unto me, although the great sage Maitreya was also sitting there. So we have got so many sages in the history. Agastya Rishi, Maitreya Rishi, and Vyasadeva, Atri Maharshi. So many rishis are there. But where do we see this loving transcendental pastimes? It is with especially with the devotees. That's why even Brahma, he was mentioning to demigods that ये व्यतीतामपि च नो नृगतिं प्रपन्ना ज्ञानं च तत्त्वविषयं सह धर्मं यत्र नाराधनं भगवतो वितरन्त्य मुष्या सम्मोहिता वितय बदमाययाते. And we are all praying that we also need to take birth in the earthly planet and jnanam cha tattva vishayam saha dharmam yatra, while gaining the knowledge and following our dharma and engaging ourselves in the devotional service. That is the ultimate thing. But Naradhanam Bhagavato, if they are not taking to this worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vitarantya Mushya, then it is Sammohita Vititaya Bhatamaya Yate. They are bewildered by the external energy. Just they think that this is the body is mine, I wanted to enjoy. One life, I wanted to enjoy as much as. It is by the external energy of the Lord. But exalted position come to the pure devotees who are Mai Ananyena Bhavena Bhaktim Kurvanti Edudam. Bhaktim Kurvanti Edudam. Mat Kriti Tyakta Karmanaha Tyakta Swajana Bandhavaha. Those people will relish my pastimes and they will come back to me. These are Achyuta Priya Bandhavaha. They are eligible to come to Vaikuntha planets. Yanti Anjasa Achyuta Padam. Very easily they will come to the Vaikuntha Loka. Such a transcendental situation is hardly understood by those whose devotion is mixed with speculative knowledge or fruitive activities. So this is about the speculators, means Muni is the mental speculator, hardly understood by those whose devotion is mixed with speculative knowledge or fruitive activities or karmis or jnanis. So yesterday when we were seeing this one, Prabhupada was describing karmis, they do not have any chance to go to the Vaikuntha, always envious of each other, very interested in accumulating money and all materialistic things. Jnani, they go to secluded place and try to liberate themselves, and but that is only partially. There is also selfishness. But devotees, they take to the greater service to spread Krishna consciousness to all the conditioned souls, to reclaim all of them, all of the fallen souls. That's why their position is exalted. Nachasman Manusheshu Kashirme Priya Pratamaha. Krishna says they are very dear to me. Okay, so and then further Prabhupada here describing the Lord's activities in confidential love are very rarely disclosed to general devotees who are attracted by devotion mixed with knowledge and mysticism. Such activities are the inconceivable pastimes of the Lord. Okay, so intimate pastimes of the Lord for only the pure devotees, Paramahamsas, not for the people who are of devotion mixed with knowledge and mysticism. That is like karmis with mixed devotion, jnanis with mixed devotion. It is not for them. They cannot understand, and that's why these pastimes they are not discussed with all of those. They are only for pure devotee paramahamsas. They will release Naitam Bhavena Kadito Bhagavan Bhagavatamaha. Sukadeva Goswami says in the second canto, 10th chapter there, Naitam Bhavena Bhagavan Bhagavatamaha. So after saying this, all the creation of universe, how to liberate themselves and everything, and universal form, Virat form, and how the demigods got created, what are their functions and everything. Later on, Sukadeva Goswami, these are for not for the devotees. Devotees deserve more than that. So likewise, he says. Okay, so this is Bhagavatam is meant for Paramahamsanam. Tada Paramahamsanam Muninam Amalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vedanardham Katam Pashyami Histriya. Kunti Maharani, Krishna is for the Paramahamsas and devotion, pure devotional service. And those Krishna's intimate pastimes are discussed among those devotees. Okay, so here Krishna, when Uddhava is inquiring, Krishna spoke that to Uddhava here. Maitri Rishi is also observing. So later on, Maitri Rishi will speak all this to Vidura again. So Vidura, here Uddhava already gave some knowledge to Vidura here, little bit. And Vidura, who is the receiver from the Uddhava now, he has got some kind of inquisitive, what to ask, what not to ask later on when he meets Maitreya Rishi. And Maitreya Rishi, he also got knowledge from Krishna and he gives, and that's why the competition between the speaker and the hearer and inquiring the questions, it will go and it will prolong for around 60 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam. After this, we are in the third canto, fourth chapter, from the fifth chapter onwards, and then the entire third canto and also fourth canto as well. So around 60 chapters is widely the questions and answers. So the speaker must be expert and also inquisitive person must have some kind of basic knowledge. Like Vidura is already devotee. He has got knowledge about Krishna and also he has learned from Uddhava also. Now he is situated in a proper position to ask the right questions to Maitreya Rishi. Okay, so that is how it goes. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So Uddhava mentions, Iti avidita hardhaya mahyam sa bhagavan paraha adidesha aravindakshaha atmanaha paramam sritim. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam ki chai. Shalmo to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today letter to Shyam Sundara, September 22nd, 1970, Calcutta. Okay, can I request Usha Mataji to read this letter, please?
Yes, Lord Krishna. My dear Shyam Sundara, please accept my blessings. I beg to acknowledge receipt of your letter dated September 13, 1970, and I have noted the contents carefully and with pleasure. I am especially pleased to note your pressed enthusiasm after your recent visit to the States, and also your statement that there is a renewed determination and fresh enthusiasm in all of the temples you have visited. That is very encouraging to me. And if the GBC continues to work in this way, there will be no difficulty in the future. Your proposal for increasing our popularity and familiarity among influential circles in the US is very good. You may know that when I was in LA, Los Angeles, uh, especially wanted to use the new temple to attract some influential person to our movement, but nothing much was done in that regard. Now, if you can do something that is more important than coming to India immediately, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that what great men do, the common man will follow. So if we want actually to be successful, we must convince the influential men of of your country. Then everything will follow automatically. So I request you to take this matter very seriously, as I think you have some uh, as I think you have some special talent for it. Regarding the motion picture, it is great opportunity, and if they actually want to do something wonderful, I can come there personally and see to its direction. If it is an important film, I think my personal direction is necessary. If not, then I think you can send me a synopsis of the script so that there may be nothing objectable from the start. If this film is properly done, it will be very profitable. Even from the commercial point of view, and if they are interested, we can give them hundreds of stories from Bhagavad, which will make wonderful films, and simultaneously, the people will be educated to the proper religious and moral standard. So please try very seriously for this, and I think Krishna will give you all intelligence and facilities. Please convey my blessings to your good wife and child. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any points Mataji wanted to highlight from this
So
letter?
here Prabhupada, the writing to Shyam Sundara, and uh, he is Prabhupada said that when he wanted to go to India, but Prabhupada said stay there, and then a common man, if that follow the great man, then that it will be successful. So that way that when we can see the Krishna consciousness movement, the follow very seriously, and the Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that that great men do that common men follow. So that way it can be very successful to convince the influential man. And he's saying that take the matter very seriously about the that matter, so that people can follow. There is a great opportunity about the pictures regarding to the motion picture. So, and then the other thing they say was to direction the making the movie about. So Prabhupada said this is a good way to spread the Krishna consciousness, the story about our scriptures and religions. So then, and it can be a profitable also. So that way, we can spread that scriptures and religions to the people. So then we said this primary seriousness. So Krishna will give the intelligence and facility. So Prabhu, you can elaborate more. Yes, Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Very nicely explained. Any comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So Prabhupada is very pleased whenever he hears about the enthusiasm of the disciples about their activities in the expanding of Krishna consciousness. So, and then just hoping for the future it will be. All right, there will be no difficulty in the future if JBC continues to work like that. So especially the popularity is required. Wherever we see, as soon as we open the YouTube to see some devotion things, some advertisements keep on coming because they wanted to popularize their things. So, but that even that is not important to the humanity. But here, Bhagavad Gita and Krishna consciousness movement, it is very essential for all the living entities, not only for the humans, so even to the animals also. That's why it needs that advertisement is required. Krishna's consciousness going on the street Sankirtana and distributing prasadam widely, generously to everyone. Okay, so later in Prabhupada, यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तद्देवेतरो नरः सहित प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकः तदनुवर्तते. Sayat Pramanam is the kind of model to everyone to follow. Then Lokaha Tadanuvartate, they will also follow the great men. It's like Prabhupada is trying to say to Shyam Sundara. So take this matter very seriously and just convince the influential men of your country. This is the required. Whenever some celebrities are speaking about Krishna consciousness or the devotional service, everyone will somewhere or other give attention and they will also take. So that's why we need to convince the influential men in the countries. And then that is where most of the things would take place. That's why advertisements companies, they will also take some celebrities and make them to advertise, even though their product is not good. And people will immediately buy. Likewise, we have to take that kind of opportunities to spread Krishna consciousness. Okay, so and with regards to the motion picture, Prabhupada is suggesting that if you think that my personal direction is necessary, I'll come there. If it is a good film, then likewise Prabhupada is mentioning, we have got all these Bhagavatam and Puranas, vast number of scriptures, different moral stories. We do not have to think of anything, but people unnecessarily they bring fiction stories unnecessarily and pollute the society with all of their personal human brains. They're all of contaminated ones. One has to take the stories from the Bhagavatam and the Ashtadasha Puranas are there. So many scriptures are there. We do not have to change the story. We do not have to change the names also. So likewise, we can spread this for us. Sometimes I used to think that if I become a prime minister, first of all, stop all these kinds of internet and everything else. Just only do even the news channels as well. Just spread only what is required, is necessary in the scriptures, that is necessary. Establish the temples for every few villages. Establish one temple, one Krishna temple, Rama temple, Vishnu temple, and those are to be the economical uh, perspective as well, because all people will be providing the flowers and all kinds of paraphernalia to the based on the temple. Temple get the donation that will be again distributed in terms of the services to the people and also prasadam and everything. Everyone will be satisfied. Economical problem will be solved independent. No need to depend on other countries. No need to import the oil and all those. It is all hassle kind of. Sometimes I feel like that. So this is necessary. We just need to take the knowledge from the scriptures. We don't need separate fiction things. Hundreds of stories are from Bhagavad that will make wonderful films. Okay, so it will they educated to the proper religious and moral standard. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter, and also Prabhupada is inquiring about Shyam Sundara's wife and child. Okay, that is my reflections as well from this letter. Uh, and any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter? Okay, so that is from Prabhupada's letter, and from the announcements point of view. So today evening we have got Kirtan evening at 8 p.m. So Kirtanadev Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Rajet. So that Kirtan evening at 8 p.m. Okay, so that's all from updates from me. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or any events you wanted to share with, kindly share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
I just like that part, but even this matrimony was there. Why still with Vidura was saying that only him? I didn't understand that part.
So it's a Mahyam, this one.
Yeah. It's-
So Uddhava is whenever Krishna was under that Ashwatha tree, Uddhava approached. At the same time, Maitreya Rishi also approached. And then Krishna speaking affectionately to Uddhava. And Uddhava asking Krishna, you have appeared like a normal person and consulting me for so many questions. I was bewildering, even though you are Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is with four hands during the time. And Uddhava knows it is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then, can you please explain all these things to me? Then Krishna was speaking to Uddhava because he is the pure, unflinching devotion. It is so at the time here Uddhava mentions Mahyam. When Uddhava is saying to Vidura here, later on when Vidura met Uddhava, so Lord spoke to me, this Mahyam. So this is what Uddhava is mentioning. But Maitreya Rishi did not ask any questions about the Lord, but he is attached to the Lord. Maitreya Rishi attached to the Lord, but it did not, we have not seen. Maitreya Rishi has done like the worship of the Lord and doing devotional service, but he was attached to the Lord. He came there on Yadruchaya by his Purva Janma Sukriti. And then he was attentively hearing when Buddhava is asking, Krishna is answering. So that's why Buddhava is mentioning to Vidura, Mahyam, onto me when Krishna was speaking onto me.
And then afterwards also like what do you call Uddhava asked Vidura to go to the Maitre Muni to listen all this, isn't
Yeah.
it? So, but Uddhava did not say it himself whatever Krishna said, but he asked Vidura to go to Maitre Muni and from them.
Yes. Yes. So now Maitreya Rishi has got some understanding whenever Krishna is speaking to Uddhava, and also for the benefit of Maitreya Rishi. So Krishna arranges. Otherwise, why Rishi might have appeared there. So, and Maitreya, here Uddhava was instructed by the Lord, you go to the Badrikashrama. So Uddhava was going in a hurry mood, like he was staying there. And also Uddhava is like in the age, he is like a son to Vidura. And Maitreya Rishi is like a father to Vidura in that level. So whenever he is inquiring from the elders, it would be more appropriate to receive that knowledge in asking questions like that. There are different angles to see. And also, as Rishi has received all this knowledge, he would speak to Vidura later on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Maybe we'll discuss that one in a different sessions, in a different angles. Okay, so thank you so much. Okay, so that is, if you're all happy, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णवृंद की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्ण कॉन्शियस डे एवरीवन